Hey everyone, and good Monday evening. The line I've been using today is that the atmosphere should really embrace that variety is the spice of life. Unfortunately, we've had very little variety over the last couple of days with our weather over the weekend and into today. Look at these temperatures. Over the last 36 hours, it's either been 32, 33, or 34 degrees each and every hour, and we're going to do this again tonight and heading into Tuesday. Very little change in our air mass. There's no front coming through, and with a thick overcast and a weak sun angle here in the dead of winter, you can get to periods like this where the temperatures hardly move. But we did officially record a high of 34 today, 1 degree above average. Our average high is 33. We've only got a few days left in the month. Right now we're sitting in 7th place on the list of warmest Januaries on record. 2006 is going to beat this year. 2006 is not the top year, but it's the most recent modern year in the list of warmest Januaries on record. Almost 9 degrees warmer than average. Very, very impressive stuff. We'll finish the month with only 2 warmer than average high temperatures for the whole month. All right, the radar a little bit deceptive at times today. Didn't show a whole lot. We had falling out of that low-level cloud deck, a little mist and drizzle, and occasionally a little light snow that gave some additional candy coatings to some yards and some car tops across the valley. Nothing real impactful, just kind of miserable and kind of gloomy out there, but it could be a lot colder. There's really not much going on across the country this evening. There's some storminess across the Intermountain West and out towards the Pacific Northwest, and just a little bit of rain down into coastal sections of the Carolinas. Much like when I showed you the temperature map last week on this video, there's really no Arctic air on the playing field across the lower 48 states. Yes, it's cold in some spots, but nothing to write home about for the middle of winter. What we have going on globally is a ripping zonal jet stream. It's a very flat pattern. I'm going to rotate the globe around here. This is the Pacific Ocean. Notice that west to east jet stream, and that continues through North America, out over the Atlantic, and then picking up again over northern Africa, Saudi Arabia, heading through parts of Asia, including northern India. I mean, that is just a ripping jet stream, and there's not a lot of waviness going on, and as long as you have that, it's not that cold in the mid latitudes. This is true in North America, it's true in Europe, even in parts of Asia. It's just not that cold for the middle of northern hemisphere winter. Well, reruns coming up tomorrow. Slate gray overcast, a flurry, drizzle, sprinkles here and there. You might have to flip on your wipers a couple of times. Now, there may be some breaks of sun finally on Wednesday. I wouldn't count on much, though. I wouldn't count on a whole lot Thursday. That high gets close enough to us that maybe we'll get a few peaks of sun here and there Thursday, but also there's going to be a little southern jet stream disturbance just off to our south that will try to reinforce the clouds. So I'm not real optimistic about sunshine in any sort of significant amounts through the end of the week. Through the weekend, it will probably take until early next week. All right, a handful of days ago on some of the modeling, there were rumors and hints of some sort of an eastern U.S. storm for Groundhog Day weekend. The models have really trended away from that in recent days, and for us, I really don't think it's much of a threat at all. This is the model spread for the next week, showing paltry amounts of snow. That is it. Really just very little impact as far as any winter weather, it looks like, through the end of January and into early February as well, so I don't think there's going to be any sort of impactful snow for the weekend. This is the 8 to 14 day outlook showing, while the pattern might be kind of coolish, this is not the kind of pattern that's going to produce a vicious Arctic attack early in February. And, you know, I told you last week on some of these videos that if we're going to see those vicious Arctic attacks, it's probably going to come towards the middle of the month and maybe even the latter portions of the month. First week to 10 days of February, to me, just looks kind of ho-hum. It can snow in a ho-hum temperature pattern, but the kind of pattern that's going to produce days with highs in the single digits and teens, lows below zero, forget about it. Through the rest of January and through at least the first week of February. Pretty soon, I mean, it's not going to be much longer. We're going to start talking about the sun angle getting higher, the days getting longer, it getting harder for snow to stick during the day. That's only really a couple weeks away. We really start talking about that kind of stuff by about Valentine's Day. The sun angle in mid-February is roughly equivalent to the second half of October. So by Valentine's Day, we're starting to get into the time of the year in which the sun angle starts to make a difference. And that's only a couple weeks away. So before too much longer, we're going to start running out of time for there to be a lot of impactful winter weather. It can happen, of course, in February and March. We've had big snowstorms in March, but the odds start really going downhill, climatologically speaking, later and later in winter. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. Same time, same place. Let's do it again on Tuesday.